Buddy, and welcome to another summer success story brought to you by Work Nicer. Work Nicer has two locations in Calgary, Roxbury and Stephen Avenue. They're also going to be opening up a third one in Calgary and opening soon in Edmonton. We're giving away a 3-month membership, and all you have to do is engage in the conversation live or after we post on any of the social media platforms after. My name is Jade Alberts, and I am a business strategist based out of Calgary, Alberta. I specialize in rejuvenating and re-energizing businesses. My motto is telling it like it is, and I love to talk strategy. So if you need a cup of coffee or a beer or something, give me a shout, and I'd love to sit down with you. Today's summer success story is Karma Campervans, and they are a campervan rental company based out of Calgary. David Wald is my guest. He's a co-founder and partner. And Dave, thanks for joining me. And how are you today?
Hey, thanks, Jade. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm currently holed up in one of our camper vans. This is Karma 3. And I thought I'd bring her out today for the interview. So yeah, we're ready to get going.
I love that. I mean, I've never, this is the first time that we've done this, that I've been able to do an interview in someone's product.
Yeah, it's kind of a unique experience, hey? But anyway, you're in the confines of one of our beautiful camper vans. You can tell it's a little bit, she's been cleanly, made over and ready to go for the next guest.
Oh no, that's I know I've gotten a personal tour there about a month ago, and it is I can say they are actually first class, and it exceeded my expectation from when I saw it. So that is pretty cool. Well, I'll give Dave a quick introduction here, and then we'll get right into it. Dave is a president and partner of Karma Campervans, and president and chief idea guy at Social Sesame. Dave's a Calgary native, an entrepreneur with over 12 years as marketing and brand development professional, working in various local, national, international companies on brand marketing and social media. He's also a father of 2 amazing kids and is extremely grateful for his family. He loves to travel and experiencing everything this life has to offer. So we can relate on that there's no doubt there. But, how did you, Karma Campervans is relatively new and a true startup. So how and why did you come up with this idea?
Well, how did I come up with the idea? Well, this idea is about 5 years in the making, to be honest. I visited Iceland about 5 years ago, June 2013. Actually, it was the year my youngest was born, Harrison, and we went there on a family trip. And let me tell you, everywhere around Iceland, if you've ever been, you'll know that there's these little camper vans putzing around Iceland left and right. At the time, there was a company called Happy Camper, and so we saw them all over Iceland when we circumnavigated the island. What I thought immediately was like, holy cow, these things look amazing. They're small, they're easy to get around in. This would be great in Western Canada, where a lot of people come to, visit Banff and Jasper and Lake Louise, and they maybe don't want to rent a big RV, and maybe they want something a bit smaller, easier to get around in. So that was kind of the impetus of the idea. The funny story is that I came back and told some of my partners, my current partners, this idea about 5 years ago, and the story is, as I tell everybody, is that one of my main guys, he kind of just blew it off. He was like, that idea will never fly. And so we had, I thought, okay, well, and he's in the RV business, so I thought, maybe I should listen to this guy, take some time and wait this out. But here we are, 5 years later. Karma Campervans is alive and well.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, I guess there's always a build-up story to every company. But so when you that 5 years, and share some of your struggles to how you got to where you are today.
So honestly, the struggles when we were first starting the company really came down to business modeling and business planning. So we were doing because this really doesn't exist in Calgary. This type of small scale boutique campervan rental service or camper rental company really doesn't exist here. We were really struggling with, first of all, like how to price them out. Second of all, some of our profit centers, where we're going to make money. And also just the business planning in general. So how are we going to get the word out there? What type of partners are we going to have? Also, probably the biggest one was, how are we going to actually build these things out? Where are we going to get our supplies and materials from? How are we going to keep it cost effective so that over the long run, we're obviously making money. I mean, that's why we do this kind of stuff. So those were some of the initial struggles. I don't know how many meetings we had, myself and my two partners, where we were just kind of throwing darts at the board and hoping something would stick. We eventually developed the layout of the van that we wanted, something that was really easy to use, that was modern in design, but rustic in accoutrement. So, you don't have a bathroom in here necessarily, although we talked about it. We thought, well, how are we going to compete with some of those other RV rental outfits? But then at the end of the day, we just knew like something simple, and that was going to get you to where you needed to go, so that you can go out and enjoy and experience, our beautiful backyard and what nature has to offer. You got a comfy queen size bed in here, and some running water. That's really all you need, And that, when we stuck on that idea, that just like, the weight was off our shoulders. We knew what we wanted to do. We tweaked the business plan and the model. I don't know how many times we messed around with the financials. So that was, honestly, those were the biggest struggles. Just trying to like get to the point where we felt comfortable to actually move forward with this thing and launch this thing.
No, that's it relates to a lot of the other stories I've been hearing as well. And I mean, obviously, having your business plan and being able to pivot from them is very important. So, once you decided on that layout, did you have any? The next question I usually ask is, how did you get over the hump? Did you have any in delays in production, or anything along those lines?
Well, I mean, we're definitely not over the hump yet. We're still relatively new. And although the idea, I would say, has proven itself, we've had a great summer so far. We have been seeing tons of reservations come through. A lot of the time, we've actually been booked up, totally sold out. We've got 10 vans right now, and I think, to be honest, it was a lot of hard work, a lot of late hours up at the shop when we were putting these things together. We worked together really closely, myself and the two partners. We all kind of had our silo in terms of what we were responsible for. And I think that's really important, actually, is when you begin working with someone, especially out of the gate as a startup, is to really make sure that those parameters and your job is well defined. And so we did that early on. And, I was in charge of and responsible for kind of getting the business up and running, forward facing, consumer facing, the website, some initial marketing. And, again, we're not over the hump. We're still just getting started. We're still working with customers and tweaking as we go. I mean, even this van itself, we thought we had it figured out. We knew like the layout was great, but there were little things that just maybe didn't work as well, or that we needed to adjust or tweak along the way. We've been taking customer feedback very seriously, and so we're getting there, and we're pretty happy with where we're at, but definitely not out of the woods yet.
Well, no, I mean, obviously it's a very good start to, start with a few and then expand to 10 and still booking reservations. That's awesome. That's, I mean, most startups would dream of, bringing in income right out of the get-go. So I know usually I talk about what has changed in your marketing, but I guess why don't we focus on, what did you do to market and what was successful? What platforms did you focus on to really reach your potential clients?
Well, so first and foremost, I really believe that marketing, of course, is always evolving and ever-changing thing. That at the very beginning, it was really about building and establishing a solid brand. So, I went out, I wrote out a bit of the business plan where it came to the branding aspect, and I really told the story about what I wanted Karma Campervans to look like, to feel like, to breathe like, to taste like, you know what I mean? So that was the first part. Once we had that nailed down, we put pen to paper and we designed everything. We designed the logo, we designed the look of the vans, the exterior of the vans, the signage. That was really important to make sure that that was bang on. Then we also, of course, that then parlayed into the website. How did we want the website to look and feel? What was the copy? How did the copy read? How are we going to get this story across and make our customers understand that we're really here to give them access to perhaps their most memorable experiences they'll ever have. Then, so from there, once we got the website done and we launched, we were pretty fortunate. We've been riding on a couple of cool things here. The first thing is the van life trend. You know, this thing has been taking off in terms of, you know, people just wanting to become nomadic entrepreneurs, explorers, and wanderers. So we're seeing a lot of this happening in the States as well as in Canada now, where people are kind of outfitting a van and just going and exploring. So that, as well as we partnered with a website called Outdoorsy, and Outdoorsy is a listing platform. So we were really fortunate that we were able to get onto that platform and just at the cusp of the summer season, where people were looking at renting something to go camping in Canada. So that really helped us out with some initial bookings. You know, quite honestly, social media too has been a huge win for us. We've utilized Facebook and Instagram. We have not been on Twitter, and we can talk about that if you want. But we utilize Facebook and Instagram to help build the story, share amazing photography. Okay, so here's an interesting story for you. So, you know, of course, we're a startup. We're really poor, right? Cash poor. We're just investing everything into the build of the vans.
Yeah.
Well, I had some really good friends of mine who were full-time RVers out in Canmore. And we told them the story about the business, and they said, you know what, Dave, we would love to take one of those vans out for a test run if you're willing to let us have one. And in exchange for that, we'll take some photos and give them to you to use. Well, you know, this guy and his wife, they're photographers and they're bloggers. So I was like, hey,
nice.
this is amazing. Such a great opportunity, right? So as soon as van one, as soon as the prototype was done, I drove it out to Camera for the weekend. I let them have it for the weekend. This was end of March, early April. So like snow had just melted in some of these parts of Alberta and in BC. So they took it out for a drive. Man, they gave me 120 photos back of
wow.
Beautiful, you know, landscape shots of the van, the interior, and all that stuff. So we put that to work for us. We started using that on the website and all of our materials, even on our postcards right now that we hand out. Those pictures are there. So, you know, those kinds of things, that like low hanging fruit, I guess, in terms of being opportunistic and utilizing your network and you know, I wouldn't say getting as much free stuff as possible, but you know, definitely taking advantage of your network and partnerships. That was really key. So, and just one more point on the marketing thing, we barely spent money on advertising. So a lot of this has been word of mouth, organic posting on social media, a little bit of promoted posts, but not too much. Like I think in total we spent maybe $1,000 on social media ads and about probably $500 on Google ads. So those are the places where we're advertising in terms of marketing in general. Word of mouth, great product, amazing customer service, and you'll be just fine.
Oh, that's a great story about utilizing your network, because we talk about that a lot, and that's a great story to get that type of feedback and those types of photos that you can use for, you know, probably for even into next season. There's so many photos you probably haven't gone through them all. So that is awesome. That is a great story.
Shout out to Living Tiny, who are they're actually RVing now on Vancouver Island. They're about to have their first baby, and they're living in an RV. So Living Tiny, you gotta go check them out.
Nice. That's a good plug. Thank you. So you now talked about getting over the hump. So I guess what's next?
Well, what's next? I mean, really, a couple of things I'm focusing on right now is getting feedback from the customers that have used the vans so far, the camper vans. Really honing in on their experience and where we could be better. That's the first thing we're going to be looking at doing.
Yeah.
The second thing would be And I can't give away too many secrets here, but we're looking at other locations. So you can just imagine that the popularity of Western Canada as a tourism destination, we really want to take advantage of that. So we're looking at different locations. We're also looking to source some more vans to outfit, perhaps tweaking the interior a little bit. Of course, always trying to make the product better. Yeah, and just I think once the summer's over, maybe taking a week off and putting my feet up for a minute or two. That would be really good. Yeah, that's pretty much what's next, and definitely always trying to make this better. I think the partners and I, we're definitely going to sit down. We've been sitting to get down together lots, and we really need to, now that the summer craziness is coming to a close, look at the business model again, make sure we're achieving our goals and objectives, and then again making sure that we're always making the product and our customer service better.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Always trying to be better is so important, and improving your product, improving your business plan, and communication with your partners. That's priceless. So I guess with the last question here, as you being a true startup, I always say, what's one piece of advice that you would give to the people that are going to see this today?
So I thought about this long and hard, because I could give anybody tons of advice and lots of advice. There's 100 different things that I could tell someone that they could be doing and should be doing if they're just starting up or building a business. And one thing that's always resonated with me personally is that feeling in your gut, that feeling where you're just like, I feel like I have to do this, or I feel like this is the right thing. You got to listen to it, and don't get hung up on what ifs and this and that, and who's going to think about or how people are going to think. Sometimes you just got to go with it, and everything will work out. And you know what? If it doesn't work out, you'll learn from it, and you'll move on, and you'll make something different or better. So my one piece of advice to anybody doing this kind of stuff is listen to your gut and run with it.
Oh, that's awesome. The gut feeling is something that I stress as well. I mean, some people choose to ignore that, and they shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, excellent. Thank you very much, Dave, for joining us today and taking time to share your story. I know people will benefit from listening to you, that's for sure. So thank you very much.
Yeah, you bet. And if anyone is eager to see what the rest of the van looks like, of course, they can go to our website, karmacampervans.com, check it out. Would love your feedback. And of course, Jade, thank you for this opportunity. You're definitely an inspiration to me, and I love our chats together and our hits on the squash court. So definitely appreciate you, man. So thanks very much.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. And you can go into the comments section and click right on Dave's website, karmacampervans.com is right there. So again, my name is Jade Alberts. I'm a business strategist based out of Calgary. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you next week. Have a good day.